Hi friends, let's water bath some berries. We're going to go ahead and fill a quart jar, or whatever jar size you choose to use, with your berries. You want to leave a 1-inch headspace. So from the first ridge on towards the top where the lid is screwed on, you don't want any type of liquid or any type of product, food in there. This gives the jar room to breathe. For overflow, this is going to be boiling, so you want to make sure that you have enough space there, and you can see I'm pushing it down just a little bit. This avoids any liquid from siphoning out during the water bath process. You're going to repeat this process with all of your berries. I'm putting some into a pint jar because I didn't have enough for a quart. I wanted to share how large these berries are, and they are so sweet. Again, we're going to fill this up all the way to the first rim on the body of the quart jar, giving it at least a 1-inch headspace. I want to keep this in their most purest form, so I am adding the juice. And again, we're not going to the top of the jar. I have not added any type of sugar, any type of preservative to any of these berries. I also wanted to mention all my jars, my lids were brand new. All my rims were all sanitized prior to doing this. To ensure success, that is really something you must do. You must sanitize your jars and your lids. Although this fruit was frozen last season and now we are thawing it out and going to can it, these can be used in desserts, ice creams. That's basically what we use them for, making our own homemade ice cream, managing what we're putting in our food, knowing that it's fresh, knowing that we grew it. It's a wonderful feeling. It's so satisfying, and we're not adding any sugar. It's 100% natural. I am adding the natural juices from the strawberries. No sugar has been added, nothing at all, but we want to keep it at its most sweet state. To ensure that you are getting the best seal possible on your lids, you want to use white distilled vinegar, and you want to take a paper towel and you want to clean your lids. Clean the rims to ensure you're removing any type of natural sugar. If you are doing meats in a pressure canner, you would be removing anything that could stop that. We're also going to take this white distilled vinegar and we're going to put a little splash into our pot that we're going to be water bathing our cans on. I wanted to share, I use 4-jar lids. They're great. Some of these ball lids, I'm getting a lot of drainage, seepage that's bubbling up between the jar and the lid. I don't have that with 4 jars. I really enjoy them. I do not have a promo code. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but I just want to throw that out there if you're wondering what type of lids are good to use in canning. So now that I've gone ahead and I've wiped my rims with white vinegar, I'm putting those 4-jar lids on each one of my jars. I'm then going to take the screw-on section of the lid and I'm going to screw that on only finger tight. You don't want it so tight that it would be hard to open. You want there to be a little movement so it can vacuum pack. That is the whole purpose of canning, that suction. So you only need those jar lids on there finger tight. Another thing that can happen is your lids can buckle if you put them on there too tight. The type of pot you use is very important. You want a pot that has a thicker bottom. That way you have a little bit of insulation between your jars and your heat source, because it's going to be resonating upwards. You want to fill your pot at least halfway with water. Go ahead and put your jars in and see where that level of water is at. You want to get the water at least 1 to 2 inches over the lid of your jars. So therefore your jars are going to be fully immersed into water. From this view, you can see that the pint jar is completely submerged underwater, but the quart jars aren't an inch under. So I'm adding a little bit more water to make sure that the jars are at least 1 inch under the water. You want to turn your heat source on to high because we need to get this pot to a rolling boil. Once you're at a rolling boil, you're going to boil your quarts for 20 minutes, pints are 15 minutes. I have a mixture, therefore you go with the longest time. I'm going to boil all of these for 20 minutes, including that pint jar. After 20 minutes, look how beautiful these are. You can still see them boiling inside. They look fantastic. We'll use these to make ice cream, to make a fruit crumble, a pie, just to eat them by themselves. It's so easy, friends. It is so easy. You just need a pot, some jars, and some lids, and some patience. It doesn't go perfect every time. Nothing does. But these can sit on the shelf for years. And when you pop them open, they taste just like they did the day that you picked them. You'll hear pinging, pop, 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 and that's just the jar's vacuum sealing. It's normal. It's what you want to hear. You'll take the lids off of here when they cool down to make sure that there is a good seal. If there isn't a good seal, you'll know it because that flat lid, once you unscrew that lid, it's gonna pop off. You need to eat those right away. Stay healthy.